Venus has a prominent display in the evening sky, appearing with the crescent moon, Venus, and Jupiter. Later in the apparition, it groups with the Moon, Mercury, Mars, and Regulus. 2021, May 12, Venus, the crescent moon, and Mercury are in the west-northwest after sunset. By Jeffrey L. Hunt. Venus begins a slow entry into the western evening sky after its superior conjunction on October 22, 2022, that carries it through August 13, 2023, when it passes through inferior conjunction and into the morning sky. The apparition is very favorable, with setting time intervals nearly reaching 3 hours, 45 minutes. Conjunctions occur with bright stars near the ecliptic, including Aldebaran and Pollux, along with a quasi-conjunction with Regulus. Photo caption: a close approach of Venus and Mars, yet no conjunction. Mars outside the limits of Venus' maximum separation from the Sun. A quasi-conjunction occurs when a planet approaches another planet or star, but the first planet does not pass the second object. The gap between the two shrinks to less than 5.0 degrees. Venus has conjunctions with Saturn and Jupiter, as well as a quasi-conjunction with Mars. The brilliant planet also passes Neptune, Uranus, Pleiades, Messier 35, and Beehive. Near the beginning of the apparition, Venus is part of a 5 bright-planet display with the Moon in the western sky. From the sunset point, the order is Venus, Mercury, Saturn, Jupiter, and Mars. Here's a month-by-month outlook. November 2022. Venus makes a slow, brilliant entrance in the western evening sky. Beginning at the end of November, the 5 bright planets are visible but not likely simultaneously, especially with Saturn's brightness. Venus and Mars are at opposition on 30th. Venus sets as Mars rises while Venus is bright evening twilight. It becomes visible in the evening sky with Saturn, Jupiter, and Mars until late January 2023. The 30th is also Mars opposition with the Sun. Chart caption: 2022, December 24th, after sundown in the western sky, Venus, Mercury, the crescent moon, and Saturn are easily visible. December 2022. Venus continues to climb into the evening sky. Mercury climbs faster and all 5 planets are visible after sunset, but not at the same time early during the month. During the 7th-18th, Venus sets at its most southerly azimuth, 237 degrees. During December 24th to 28th, look for the 5 planets with the crescent moon. Chart caption: 2023, January 23rd, Venus, Saturn and the crescent moon after sunset in the western sky. January 2023. Venus quickly steps eastward compared to the starry background. It closes the gap to Saturn and passes it on January 22nd. The next evening, the moon joins Venus and Saturn. Chart caption: 2023, February 21st: Venus, Jupiter, and the crescent moon after sundown. February 2023. Moving eastward in Aquarius, Venus crosses into Pisces at mid-month and begins to close in on Jupiter. On the way, Venus passes Neptune on the 14th. Beginning on the 20th, Venus is within 10 degrees of Jupiter. The planet skips across Cetus on the 26th as it runs down the Jovian giant. During the month, the evening star gains over 30 minutes of setting time, 153 minutes after sundown at month's end. Chart caption: 2023, March 23rd, Venus, Jupiter, and the crescent moon after sundown. March 2023. Venus passes Jupiter on the 1st. The conjunction is nearly 20 degrees up in the west-southwest. After the 11th, the Venus-Jupiter gap is more than 10 degrees. Venus quickly crosses the eastern section of Pisces and moves into Aries on the 16th, passing Hamal, Aries' brightest star, on the 23rd. On the 30th, it passes Uranus. Chart caption: 2023, April 10th, through a binocular, Venus is near the Pleiades star cluster. April 2023. Venus moves into Taurus on the 7th. Choose your favorite stars and watch the planet pass by. It moves toward the Pleiades, passing the cluster's brightest star on the 10th. Use a binocular to watch the planet move through the rich Taurus starfields, passing Aldebaran on the 19th. Chart caption: 2023, May 7th to June 2nd, Venus moves through Gemini. May 2023. Setting over 3 hours after sundown, brilliant Venus stands high in the western sky at nightfall. The planet quickly steps eastward at nearly 1.1 degrees each night. Still near the bull's horns, Venus continues its rapid eastward step. Moving into Gemini on the 7th, it passes Messier 35 and the bright Milky Way regions of the constellation. The Moon moves through later in the month as Venus approaches Pollux, passing the star on the 29th. The planet loses nearly 25 minutes of setting time during May. Beginning on the 3rd and extending through the 15th, Venus sets at its most northerly azimuth, 307 degrees. Chart caption, 2023, June 21st, Venus, Mars and the crescent moon fit into the same binocular field of view. June 2023. Venus moves into Cancer on the 3rd, about 10 degrees to the lower right of Mars. Venus reaches its greatest elongation, 45.4 degrees, on the 4th. It passes the Beehive cluster, M44, on the 13th. The Moon passes on the 21st. Venus crosses into Leo on the 26th. The planet's eastward step slows to an average of 0.83 degrees each night, while losing 65 minutes of setting time during the month. Venus is quickly closing the gap to the red planet, but the apparition seems to stall as Venus never catches Mars. This results in a quasi-conjunction, 3.6 degrees, on the 29th. It begins its phase of greatest brightness on the same night. Chart caption, 2023, July 20th. From the sunset point, Mercury, Venus, Regulus, Moon, and Mars span 18.5 degrees. July 2023. Brilliant Venus shines from the western sky, reaching its greatest illuminated extent on the 6th. The planet's crescent covers the largest area of the sky. Venus quickly slows its eastern step to 0.34 degrees each day until it begins to retrograde on the 22nd. As Mars marches away from the slowing Venus after their quasi-conjunction last month, the evening star does not reach Regulus, resulting in a quasi-conjunction on the 16th. On the 19th and 20th, the Moon joins the scene, making pretty groupings with Mercury, Venus, Regulus, and Mars. Use a binocular to see dimmer Regulus and Mars. The planet quickly disappears into bright evening twilight. August 2023. Venus reaches its inferior conjunction on August 13th and races into the morning sky.